If the whole world is a reflection, everything, every story must also be a reflection, I would say. And this particular tarot card, this place of birds, it's the phoenix rising that goes on inside us. The card represents seeing things from a higher view, from a higher perspective, where you're lifting out of yourself, seeing it from the view of your higher self, and being able to survey the world around you. And it's got the spiral effect on it. So a phoenix event, why wait for the external one to play out when there's an internal one that is also required? And what about this Nemesis X as well? This sort of destruction, as it were. Well, that happens inside us as well, the 792. If you look at the numbers, the 7 represents, it's a divine number. The 9 represents completion. And then you have 2. Well, that's the 2 that become 1 inside oneself. It's reflected in this card. It's like the apex of the pyramid, where this circling, this sort of vortex is basically where it would be like the all-seeing eye in that depiction on the dollar bill, very much associated with the pyramid. And of course you have other pyramids as well around it being shown in this picture. Excuse me. So it's finding this inside ourselves, that internal phoenix. But the Nemesis X, the 792, what would that total destruction be? It's that chemical change where you have that pole shift inside yourself that changes all the cells in your body from ones that are in a negative state. What you're also creating, and it's something that is reflected in history, you're creating a United States, the coming together of a united kingdom. We can see this in history. The unified kingdom of Egypt is really the first united kingdom. You have the United States of America. In Europe, you had the unified states that formed the German Empire in 1870. The story is playing out externally all the time. It's whether we can cross-compare. How does that relate inside oneself? What is the external reflecting back? Because those reflections are not always clear. It is like that crazy house. You can look in all these different mirrors. You're going to get all kinds of distortions. Often, I feel that you'll get a gentle reminder reflection where you'll come across someone rather obnoxious, rather loud, because they've been taking medication and they've had alcohol on top, with the result that it's like they're now talking so loud that I'm getting a headache, as it were. What am I to take from that? I feel that it's just, that is a reflection of that's how not to be. Just a reminder, because we do need these reminders every now and again, because we're continuously reinventing ourselves. We are continuously being reminded of how things were. Because maybe we've been that obnoxious person that got drunk, and whilst we're on prescription medications and things, I'm sure many have done it. I probably have as well. I don't actually have a recollection, but I'm sure at some stage, going on the sort of law of averages, that I would have been like that at one time as well. Personally, I'm a zero alcohol. because it's about setting boundaries and things, and I don't really want people around me who've had lots of alcohol either. So I don't put myself in places, in situations where I'm going to encounter that as best as I can. Yeah, so always look at the external. What is it showing? What is there in it for me to find? The ID thing is a huge one currently. And so it should be, because it is all about finding your own individual identity, your true authentic self, not the one the external world is saying this is what you are or this is how you should be, but being able to go your own way, reinventing yourself. Just look at the word reinventing. So it's a reset, it's internal, and it's then radiating out, it's vented out, you could say. And because it is happening in the present, it's reinventing. So does that strike a chord, the final ting? I love the way etymology is such a useful tool, and also these devices. We can look at it as it's, oh, we're being spied on. We can look at it that they're tracking us, they're tracing us. But we're in a realm of duality where there is contrast, so it's a very useful tool as well. When you consider how many others would you have been in contact with without one form or another of social media, which is all through these devices. So is it such a bad thing after all? We can see it from that way, certainly. But it's when we get stuck in that polarity, there is the problem. But if we can see it from the positive as well as the negative, and this reality certainly gives you plenty of that, it's contrasts. But can we see beyond that superficial? What lies beneath? See how the land lies. I mean, what is all this here? Deposits of red clay, red rain from this phoenix that's associated with this phoenix every 138 years. Let's talk about that 138 as well. Well, there is only one. That's you, the individual. The 3 is the mind, body and soul. The 8 is that eternal loop that we can find ourselves stuck in when we don't break pattern. Because the 138 self-references this with this phoenix cycle. Because it is a break of pattern. When you get to 138, it then starts a new cycle. So therefore it must be the pattern break with 139. Which interestingly, 1 and 3 and 9 is going to give you a 13. Highly significant number in the old world prior to 713 BC, when we had a 360-day year calendar. It's what the Mayan long count calendar works on in cycles of 13. It's in playing card suits as well. It's also in the rib cage with the 12 ribs on each side, and then the center sternum that joins those 7 ribs. So you've got a 13, also a 12 and a 24 being shown in that as well. We are a series of mathematics and numbers as much as anything else in this physical reality. And this whole physical reality is held together by mathematics and numbers. It's a fascinating topic. But what about etymology? That is just another symbolized depiction of something that is far more. So going back to that 6th character of the alphabet, the letter F, just consider the words that's in. Things can be difficult. As I pointed out, you have that double F sound in enough when you set a boundary. But what I can tell you is, with manifestation, it becomes effortless. It doesn't require an enormous amount of energy, but at the same time it is drawing upon the infinite supply of the potential from source, which is inside us and also not inside us at the same time. It's a bit of a thing to sort of contemplate, the enormity of it and the infinitesimal minuteness of it all at the same time. It's everything and nothing all in one. It's a beautiful thing when you see it that way. I feel that's all I wish to cover. Just a little shorter video this time. But yeah, this card comes up quite a bit. It's a good card to get because it shows, like with any tarot card reading, it gives an indicator of where you are on your journey. You may get this card come out in the backstory part of the reading, or it may be about the present. Just depends where you are on your path. There's only one way to find that out. That is to take the active step and say, I would like to request a tarot card reading, which it will be my absolute pleasure to do for you, because I have had testimonies. It's a growing number of testimonies of how things have been turned round, taking that active step, which will open up a doorway for you. But as a reminder, again, I'm going to put the link in the description to the 2-paragraph analysis on manifestation technique from Archaix channel. That boils it down into something very simple. You'll be doing yourself an enormous favor if you can put that into practice. Make it part of your daily life. It's something I'm doing. It's something I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years. But you have the free will. But I feel it is the right way to do things for definite. So with that, I will say unconditional love to you all.